A deal in limbo: Ukraine, US, and the mineral agreement. The United States and Ukraine find themselves at a critical juncture. A proposed minerals deal, months in the making, hangs in the balance. This agreement, designed to bolster Ukraine's economic recovery and solidify its ties with the West, has hit a snag. Both sides acknowledge the impasse, each pointing to the other as the cause for the delay. The US claims Ukraine is attempting last-minute alterations to the agreed-upon terms. Ukrainian officials, however, suggest the US is prematurely pushing for the inclusion of 2 additional documents. This disagreement, though seemingly procedural, underscores the complexities and sensitivities surrounding this crucial agreement. The deal's significance extends far beyond the extraction of minerals. For Ukraine, it represents a lifeline, a chance to rebuild its shattered infrastructure and economy after the devastating war with Russia. For the US, it's an opportunity to secure access to vital resources and solidify its influence in the region. The stalled negotiations have raised concerns on both sides. Time is of the essence, and a failure to reach a compromise could have significant repercussions for the future of Ukraine and its relationship with the West. Ukraine looks West economic and geopolitical significance. This minerals deal represents more than just a business transaction for Ukraine, it's a strategic pivot towards the West. Ravaged by war, Ukraine sees this agreement as a path to economic recovery and long-term stability. The deal promises access to much-needed investment and expertise, crucial for rebuilding its infrastructure and revitalizing its industries. Beyond the economic benefits, the deal carries immense geopolitical weight. It signifies a deepening of ties between Ukraine and the US, a relationship that has grown increasingly vital in the face of Russian aggression. By aligning itself closer to the West, Ukraine seeks to secure its future as an independent and democratic nation. This partnership, however, is not without its critics. Some within Ukraine voice concerns about becoming overly reliant on the US, potentially jeopardizing its sovereignty. Others worry about the environmental impact of increased mining activities. Despite these concerns, the Ukrainian government remains committed to the deal, viewing it as essential for the nation's future. The potential benefits, both economic and geopolitical, are simply too significant to ignore. The price of peace: financial terms, and the Reconstruction Fund. The financial aspects of the US-Ukraine minerals deal are complex, and have become a point of contention. A key element is the establishment of a joint US-Ukraine Reconstruction Fund. This fund, designed to finance Ukraine's post-war recovery, would be financed by 50% of the profits and royalties generated from new Ukrainian natural resource permits. The draft agreement, however, lacks clarity on the fund's management and spending. While Ukraine insists on retaining control over its resources, the specifics of how the fund will be governed and how the funds will be allocated remain unclear. Further complicating matters is the issue of past US military aid to Ukraine. The US has provided billions in military assistance since the start of the conflict. The current deal stipulates that Ukraine will not be required to repay this aid directly. Instead, the US contribution to the Reconstruction Fund is seemingly considered a form of repayment. This arrangement has fueled criticism, with some accusing the US of leveraging its aid to secure favorable terms in the minerals deal. Others argue that the US is justified in seeking a return on its investment, particularly given the scale of its financial commitment to Ukraine's defense. Security concerns: a missing piece in the puzzle. A glaring omission from the draft minerals agreement is the lack of explicit US security guarantees for Ukraine. Kyiv had initially sought these guarantees as a cornerstone of the deal, hoping to deter future Russian aggression. The absence of such a commitment from the US has raised concerns about Ukraine's long-term security. The US, while remaining a staunch supporter of Ukraine, has been hesitant to offer concrete security guarantees. This reluctance stems from a desire to avoid direct military confrontation with Russia and a preference for focusing on Ukraine's economic recovery. In the absence of US security guarantees, Ukraine has been exploring alternative options. Discussions with European allies regarding the establishment of an international security force are ongoing. This force, if materialized, would be tasked with ensuring Ukraine's security in a post-war scenario. The lack of a clear security framework, however, remains a major concern for Ukraine. Without robust and reliable security guarantees, the country's long-term stability, and the success of any reconstruction efforts remain uncertain. Should Ukraine enter this agreement with the US, only time will tell. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe for more, and please check out our other videos on our Planet Perspective YouTube channel. Thanks.